Hello, Packer fans. Welcome to Packer Talk with Green, my special guest, Mark Lewis from US 96.
How you doing,
Mark.
Green? How you
We're
doing?
going to talk about a very exciting Super Bowl victory over the 49ers at 3Com Park yesterday afternoon in the quagmire of El Nino yesterday.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Mark, we'll look at the top board up here, bud,
All
in
right.
a second. It was pretty close number-wise, the top board. 32 minutes we had it, and they had 28. We had 19 first downs, they had 15. Total yards, we had 325, they had 250. We had no turnovers, but they did. Our offensive line is underrated, no Pro Bowlers and things from Ross Burba to Frankie and all the other guys. Levens did a super job, he's great. Robinson ran out of gas, maybe, I don't know if he would have made it in the end zone, Mark. He looks like they had an angle on him
Said he was
anyway.
tired.
He's tired of monkey on his back. And a great defense all day. Fritz Sherman did a lot of different schemes. Perfect defense. Fritz, he should probably get a game ball. We are Super Bowl bound. On the other side, we pressured Steve Young all day. We stopped their run. They only had 33 yards running, Mark. And they just can't beat Green Bay. We beat them 4 times in a row. And they had their so-called great defensive team. They were the number one defensive team ranked-wise in the National Football League. They had no 100-yard runner against them all year with the Stubblefield and the Brian Young and the Dolmans and so on and so forth. And the guy that hits the goalpost, Kenny Norton Jr. and all that. But overall, we dominated that team. Mariucci, he was kind of mad and sad. Well, I'm sorry, that's the way it is. And we played the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 32 in 2 weeks, but we'll talk about that great game and then we'll get into. We're not going to pick a score because we got another show. We got another couple of shows.
We don't even get a pre. Oh, I've never done a show with Green.
You can do a prediction.
I can do a prediction. Okay.
Okay. So,
I'll think about that.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about first, Mark?
Well, I think you're talking about the running game before, and Levens had I think anytime that guy runs for 100+ yards, they're going to win the ball game. Simple as that. And he was. It wasn't a big factor in the first half, but he was a huge factor after the lead. And they start giving the ball to him. He opens it up, and that's huge.
It was very nice. And our offensive line, well, that comes with our offensive line and tight end formations, the blockings and all that. But isn't our offensive line, no Pro Bowlers, with,
Exactly.
Earl Dotson might have had a tough time.
Earl Dotson,
Mr. Number 72. You had a little trouble yesterday 4 times with the emotion and movement and stuff, but that's really only a chink in the armor we had with our offensive line.
He's had that problem all year.
Yeah, they got a pretty good offensive line, don't they? And Mr. Ross Burba, I think, put an extra little incentive nastiness in that offensive line.
I think so, and I think that they're really starting to gel and start coming together as an offensive unit. And I think, Burba was huge. You're not going to see him giving that spot up for a long time.
Oh no, Mr. Michaels is going to be second string or third string or another side of the ball or somewhere else, but he's not going to be starting. Mr. Ross Burba's got. And how about like you were talking about? The Packers. Mark, I don't know what makes the Packers mutters. I mean, what makes our ground game mutters? What makes that? Is it the cleats, or is it the attitude, or what is it that makes us such mud runners?
I don't even know that that it's necessarily mud as much as it maybe is just bad weather. I mean, they're used to playing outside. They're used to playing on grass. And when you're playing, especially in this part of the country, you're going to play in some bad weather. And of course, late in the season, you got the snow and the ice and stuff. But early in the year, playing outside, you can be playing a lot of games in the rain. So, I mean, you're used to doing it. And I really think that makes it plays into their hands. Psychologically, if nothing else.
A little bit of a note about that. Doug Evans, after the game, you could see he was on the sidelines after the game being interviewed or whatever, and the rain was just downpouring. And he said, "This is Green Bay's weather. This is our weather." And that's exactly what happened. The Green Bay Packers are the best bad weather team in the world in the National Football League.
Oh,
they prove it week in and week out. On the road, in any kind of weather, at home, in any kind of weather, they do very well with that.
Yes, they do.
And their offensive line, and they hold on to the ball, no mistakes. They don't fumble the ball and that stuff. I don't know how they can with that. That stuff has got to be pretty slippery, isn't it? The football.
Yeah, you would think so. You would think so, especially where I wonder, like on long snaps and stuff like that. You got that wet ball and trying to, you would think it would be a little slick, but they handled it pretty well. That really wasn't a problem for either team, I don't think, yesterday.
No.
Keeping a grip on the ball didn't really seem to be a factor.
I guess they before the game started, I guess they said that Steve Young would have a better chance throwing the ball because he throws a softball. But by the way, Brett Favre, I just heard that Brett Favre broke 13 fingers so far.
Did he really?
Brett Favre throwing the ball to his receivers and anybody else?
13 fingers?
He has broken 13 fingers from his teammates.
Really?
Over the past 6 or 7 years he's been playing up here.
Really?
So, he does throw somewhat of a rocket.
Yeah.
But
you put a little of that forward.
They only wear 10 pairs of gloves. These guys, padding's about this thick.
Sure.
But anyway,
Like catcher's mitts.
And how about Eugene's interception? Picked it up, ran in front of the guy, took off and ran, and out of gas or...
Oh, he did. I think
whatever that was.
I don't, if somebody wouldn't have tackled him, he probably would have just fallen over about the
Fallen down there
20-yard
on a little
line because
turf.
he was never going to make it.
No.
He's an old guy. He's almost a... Well,
No.
He's an old guy, though.
He's an old guy, yeah. A veteran. Why don't you say veteran?
There you go. A veteran,
okay.
just like Green.
And,
A true veteran.
we had great defense there, and you really can't say nothing about the Gravedigger, can you?
You can't say enough about him or can't say anything about him?
Can't say enough of good stuff.
Good stuff about him. Yeah, there was a little shovel
Yeah,
action.
he did a little shovel action yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. I mean, when he's in the game, it makes all the difference. Well, I just look at the stats. I mean, what did they run
They know
for?
he had 33 yards running.
Yeah, 33 yards running. So, when that guy's in the middle, he's tough. He's tough. I mean, he'll take on 2 or 3 guys.
And that made the 49ers one-dimensional. You know, they came into the game, Mark, with the 3 running backs to the Hurst, Floyd, and...
I don't even
Hurst, Floyd, and some...
if he's not even good enough to remember, he's junk.
But anyway, so they came in with that so-called, their 3 running backs and their offensive line and Steve Young. They thought they were going to just run all over us for 200 yards or whatever, but with a Gravedigger, you're not going to run against a Gravedigger too much.
Not going to run against the Gravedigger.
And he loosens everybody else up. He opens up other positions and other things Fritz can do when he clogs that middle. He can other people are let loose and can do other stuff with it.
I think that could be a great new offense or a defensive scheme for Shermer. It's be the 1-10 defense. Just put Gilbert up there by himself, and the rest of the guys can kind of hang back a little bit.
Yeah, well, he did come up with some different schemes yesterday. Some 3-3-5s and 3-4-6s and all, whatever. He was putting all kinds of stuff together.
As long as it comes up to 11.
Only 11, not 3, 4, and 6. Don't let it more than 11. But it seemed maybe to Steve Young that we used the 3, 4, 6 or something because we were all over the field on him.
Yeah, put a lot of pressure.
We pressured Young. We made him one-dimensional. We stuffed the one, which is making him. He can't beat us. What seems to be the problem with the 49ers? We have had our trouble with Minnesota thing over there and with Dallas. You know, with winning and beat. No, we got
the jinx is just the opposite.
The opposite here with the 49ers.
They don't like us coming there to play.
No,
they probably would have been better off coming to Green Bay to play.
Yeah, well, that would have been worse. I mean, we would have beat them worse. But about 15,000 fans, I think, approximately went to the 3 Kyle Park.
I think I really, truly,
I don't know.
I think that whole thing is a little overrated. I mean, yeah, it's tough playing on the road. You're going to be playing in front of somebody else's fans, but really, I mean, the strong football teams, they really, got rid of that monkey a lot this year with those last few games when they were on the road.
They were already done real well.
When you're that good, you should be able to go in and play. And it shouldn't really make that much difference.
No, because that so-called tunnel vision, focused and 55 yards wide and 100 yards long. Just stay right in here and stay amongst yourselves, play amongst yourselves. I don't mean play amongst yourselves. I said that last week too. Stay in the confines of your game play with Coach Holmgren has put on a paper. But other than that, what do you think? What really set the game off for the Green Bay Packers yesterday?
Well, I think they just came out and just dominated on both sides of the ball. I mean, they never, again, you're talking about some of those defensive schemes. They never really let San Francisco get in any kind of a rhythm at all. They got no running game established, which means you're going to have to throw the ball, which makes it a lot easier on them. And in their defense, as far as the Packers' offense, it didn't seem like they were having problems with anything.
No, they really devised a great game plan by all kinds of passes worked. Antonio had a great game yesterday.
Yeah, he caught him. He didn't drop anything.
No, they didn't drop it. They caught him yesterday.
Now that guy, if he can catch the ball, he's great.
How about that little somewhat trickery or little thing at the end of the first half? What do you think about that? What was your thing about, at the end of the first half, we had the ball, and we had 55 seconds left.
I must have been in the bathroom or something.
Well, when they got down to 10 or 12, tick, 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 and you thought the breathtaking knee, just going half, 10-3, and all of a sudden he pulls back, flings it to Antonio, and he catches it, and then they get a field goal out of it.
Yeah, that was a nice little extra score there.
A little bit of dig, yeah.
That was great.
And there's a lot of family affair, but families are kind of separated right now. I mean...
Yeah.
The big brother's beating up on the little brother.
I mean, they're getting paid to go do a job out there, so, yeah, sure, you can be friends. I like you, Green, but if somebody paid me not to like you, I wouldn't like you a whole lot.
But anyway, but we're going to San Diego now. We're going to talk about we're going to talk a little bit about the opponent of the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 32 is going to be the Denver Broncos.
Broncos.
With John Elway's sentimental thing, you know.
Oh, yeah, he's got the sympathy vote.
Yeah, sympathy vote. Don't I
But
like
he's
me?
almost
Like
as-
me? Do I get a sympathy vote?
He's almost as old as you, too.
Almost as old as me. 37 years old. They have Sterling Sharp's brother, Shannon Sharp.
Yep.
They had the second leading rusher in the National Football League, Terrell Davis.
Yep.
1,700 yards or something. They have a guy that spits on defense, Romanowski. So they have some players, some talent in some positions. But overall, I don't think there's really going to be much of a match. I guess we're 14-point favorites.
13 and a half,
13
I
or
heard
14,
today. Yeah.
or it'll probably vary a little bit between 13, 12, 14, 15. But basically, that's basically going to be the spread. And they have a few people that can play the ball game. But overall, the Packers are much too talented, too much leadership on that team. Very well coached. Aren't they well coached?
Oh, they're great. Yep.
They really
But
are
I don't
well
know.
coached.
I mean, the Denver Broncos, they're not slouches. Right.
I guess we got to respect them. I guess they did beat Pittsburgh, and they're a wild card team.
Yep.
The last wild card team to win the Super Bowl, I think, was the last time the AFC won the Super Bowl. I think the Raiders were 83.
Yeah.
I think they were a wild card team and they won the Super Bowl. But well, they're not. The AFC ain't gonna win.
You don't think so?
No, I don't really think so. No.
No?
The Packers got too much talent, don't you think?
Truly,
They have leadership, experience, talent, coaching thing. There'll be a lot of fans down there. So really, the overall picture is looking very good for the Green Bay Packers when it comes to that football game coming up in a couple of weeks.
Oh, well, they absolutely should win the football game.
But
it's any given Sunday.
Tell that to the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III.
Absolutely. See?
Joe Willie Namath
See?
and stuff.
Just what I'm saying.
But anyway,
You don't want to
the
get too
Baltimore Colts of this 97 season with the Packer thing over there.
Yeah. So
But
good
anyway.
thing they're not playing the Colts.
You know, maybe the 49ers should have put a U on them.
There you go.
A U on them, or a
think it's a
horseshoe or
horseshoe,
something. Horseshoe or U or something. But anyway, so now you watched the game at a local establishment in town.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was trying to get the proprietor of Evil Roy Slade's, Jim Murphy, to come along and be on the show here today, but
He's wanted, isn't he?
he said he couldn't go a half hour without swearing. So he.
But anyway, so you had a good time.
We had a great time. The crowd was a lot of fun, and see, they even give you some half price drinks on touchdowns and stuff.
Well, you didn't
so.
get very many, did you?
Oh no, I was a sober guy when I walked out yesterday. No, we had a great time.
Yeah, great time. Okay, and you had some. Imagine the little sticks and snacks you had there, and
Oh, I smoked a tenderloin.
a lot of great people, a lot of great. How many 49er fans were amongst us? A little dribble of them once in a while, or none?
None.
All right. Yeah, way to go, Murph, baby. But anyway, so
No, it was a very good. I mean, how can you have a bad time?
yeah,
that's
you're winning.
when you're winning.
When it makes it easier and fun, don't it?
Yep.
And we have had our bad times, but now the good times are upon us, and we enjoy it. I'm relishing it. There's only, 30 teams start the season. They start in August. They go through the 2 days, and they work hard, and they sweat, and everything else. Now there's only 2. Are these the best 2 teams in the National Football League playing in the Super Bowl? I know we are, but is Denver the second best team in the National Football League?
I'll tell you, they're pretty darn good. A lot of people probably thought that the 49ers were maybe the second best team, but I don't know. They didn't impress me a whole lot yesterday, and I think that's probably a lot to that, where they said they really didn't have a lot of tough games this year, San Francisco.
Maybe they had something to do with their schedule.
I don't think they did.
Something to do with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you can't put it completely on that, but yeah, when most of you're playing in one of the weakest divisions in football, it certainly makes it a little easier to win a lot of games.
Yeah, well, I think
than
we're
when
a
you're
little
playing
bit
in the toughest division.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we are a little bit more than the San Francisco bargain for. I mean, we're not in their division, so they really got a taste of the best football in the National Football League yesterday.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed to pick another team that's probably as good as Denver. I mean, they're a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, and they really built this team to win this year.
Yeah, I thought last year was going to be the year. Didn't they go through all that last year? Remember they had a really good year and they started off hot, but then at the end of the season they always got hurt and they didn't play and they rested their starters.
And then they lost
turned
the
the switch off, then they lost to Jacksonville at home and stuff. And
but it's a team that's not going to be around. They need to win. They need to win like now.
Yeah, no.
'Cause they're getting old.
Yeah.
They're almost all as old as you too.
What is this old as you stuff? But anyway, so I'm glad you had a good time down there. A lot of Packer fans down there.
Yep.
It would have been nice to have the game. The weather was nice for a game up here. I mean, the weather was nice. The sun was out, so it
It would
wasn't
have
too bad.
actually been a great day to watch a football game at Lambeau.
But I don't really know if Denver. Mike Shanahan's their head coach. I don't know who their defensive coach is. I don't know what kind of device or schemes that they can come up with that will shut Brett Favre is the best. He has really got this so-called West Coast offense, or the Bill Walsh offense, or a Mike Holmgren improved West Coast offense down pat, doesn't he? And it does depend, and the receivers have to be doing their job, breaking off their patterns properly, and reading read everything.
Right.
You got to read. Everybody's going to be on the same page.
Well, even that, I mean, yeah, they do have to. I mean, it's a very disciplined offense. But the thing about Favre is, I mean, he can get away just when you think you got him, and all of a sudden there's that, like Levin's coming out of the backfield. There was a play yesterday where, I mean, everything was shut down. All of a sudden he pops
Oh,
loose.
yes. A little bit of a across the field pass, a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, there's so many things that he can do outside of the regular structured offense that, man, I don't know how you prepare. How do you prepare for a guy like
he
that?
really
You
he sees all 55 yards and uses all 55 yards, don't he?
Oh, yeah.
Wide.
Absolutely.
And,
so I mean, that guy is just
phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of sit there, watch the game, and you shake your head, going, "How can he do that?"
Yeah.
And it looks like there's 2 or 3 guys ready to just nail him, and all of a sudden he's just gone. I mean, they can't.
I know it's a really exciting game. I really feel good for the Packers. They had a 13-3 season. They won 7 in a row now, like last year. This season pretty much parallel with last year, Mark. They won the last 5 games of the regular season last year. They've improved the running game and stuff, and they won, and they're peaking and all that kind of stuff. Now they got to go to the Super Bowl. Now after they win the Super Bowl, it'll be like last year, 8 wins at the end of the season. They ran the ball well. They protected Brett Favre. They threw it. They executed. They held on. So they're really doing what they did last year. Now, do you think this season the Packers had to work harder this year because everybody was after them?
Yep.
Everybody was taking shots at them and trying to disrupt us and do a lot of things, this and that. But the Packers have really withstood a lot of stuff, and we really rebounded. Our resiliency really came through, didn't it?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's tough to repeat. I mean, it's gonna be. You're exactly right. Everybody's gunning for you, and you want to beat the world champions. So yeah, I think it's
like the Baltimore Colts. I mean, Indianapolis Colts.
So I mean, it is tough to come back and do it again. But man, especially on the stretch. I mean, I think early in the year, there were a lot of doubters.
Yeah, they had a tough time
at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, down the stretch, it was, if you're going to come together, that's a great time to come together during those last few games.
They really got some well-talented team on both sides of the ball, don't they?
Yeah, and it's going to be
balanced.
It's going to be tough to stop. Of course, there's that Elway factor in there. I mean, he's one of the best. Come from behind.
Yeah, he's got this fourth quarter thing and at the end of the second half thing. Touchdown and long drives at the end of the game. And but he ain't going to do it against the Green Bay Packers. Sorry, John.
Now, why would you think he wouldn't be able to?
We're not Cleveland. Or whatever, any other AFC team. We're the Green Bay Packers are champions, the best team in the National Football League, and in Bourne. But anyway, so did you get up to a game this year?
I got to 2. I went to the very first game of the season, and I went to the very last game of the season.
Oh, the Buffalo game.
Yep. So those are the 2 that I went to.
You've seen a couple of bees.
Yes. And no, we had a great day. It's always fun to go to the Packer game.
Yes, it is. They're going to be building some new seats and stuff up there. That'd be nice.
Yeah?
I guess they're going to make some more seats up there.
Sink it.
Sink it, yeah.
Sink the field.
Well, I guess Dan Nitschke's running behind the camera. We got 10 minutes left. Okay, so what else would you like to talk about?
Stretch.
Okay,
yep.
So what else would you like to...
Well,
what do you think that Denver... Okay, we talked about... What do you think Denver's going to have to do to stop? Is there anything that they can do to stop our offense, Brett Favre and Sherman Lewis and Coach Mike?
Well, I think they have to. I think they have to mix it up, and they have to. The couple of times when they did, when San Francisco did blitz, they got in a couple of times. So I think they. Of course, you can't do it all the time.
Because if you blitz him, Brett Favre all the time,
he's going to burn him. Right. But I think blitzing at the appropriate times, keeping him off balance a little bit, getting to Favre. I think you can always probably. Hire a hitman a week before the game to, rub Favre out. Maybe that's probably their best chance to win.
Or serve him some food from Murphy's.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, but of course they got the great Neil Smith. That's the guy that left Kansas City and stuff, and the number 90 defensive end. He's very capable of raising some havoc over there. I think he plays on Mr. Ross Verba's side too. I think.
Again, I mean,
test for Ross.
They're an excellent football team, and I don't think you don't want to underrate them because. They can come, and they've showed it. I mean, Pittsburgh was a good team. I mean, they beat Kansas City here in the end this year. And those are some pretty good football teams.
Well, Pittsburgh had the 4 turnovers by a young. The reason why Pittsburgh lost the game, I believe, yesterday is because this weekend because of inexperience of Cordell Stewart, the young quarterback, and stuff. And but Brett Favre is really something. I just love watching that man behind Frankie's butt.
Yep.
And stuff, and Frankie likes him there too. But
I know what I wanted to talk about.
Yes, sir.
What about that Barry Switzer, huh?
yes, the Cowboys got a new head coach. I don't know. Maybe Jones wants to. Don't Jones want to dabble in that?
Well,
A little bit?
Did you know that Barry Switzer and President Clinton have a lot in common?
Okay, go ahead.
They're both sorry that they exposed themselves to a Jones.
No, John, no, cute, very cute. So, but we really don't worry about them guys. But I guess the new coach is going on there, and a couple and the Raiders got a new coach, but we got the.
I know they're your second favorite team in the NFL.
Yeah,
so
I love them. I love them. But
right.
we got a very great coach. We're healthy. No major injuries yesterday. But I think they had some cramping going on yesterday.
Yeah, Freeman looked like he was hurting a little bit.
But then he was jumping around at the end of the game, so I guess winning does ease the
You kind
pain.
of forget about that
a little bit of stuff. And Gilbert Brown wasn't doing any hobbling. He seems to be healthy.
They're really probably as healthy as they've been all year.
They're really healthy. I guess that does help playing on that stuff that slides and it doesn't grab your cleat and hurt your knee and stuff. So we're healthy.
Yep. And we're going San Diego.
San Diego.
But see, it's going to be so warm there.
Don't matter. It was warm in New Orleans too. Plus, they had that vents all plugged up, and there was smoke in New Orleans last year.
Oh yeah.
So, well, this is the AFC Stadium.
AFC town.
The Packer faithful will still be in abundance. Maybe, I don't know, there's 70,000 people there, so there'll probably be half and half. There's Packer fans will be in abundance there.
Oh,
There'll be
a lot of folks heading out.
Maybe half, or at least half. It's grass thing, outdoors, AFC team, area thing. So, Denver should maybe know a little bit of the layout, a little bit more of Murphy Stadium down there, but it ain't going to help them out.
No?
No, it ain't going to help them out anyway.
So is the Green Man going to be there?
I don't know, Mark. I got a couple options I'm going to do. Either go, I went to the Super Bowl in New Orleans last year and had a good time, but then I missed out on the parade and the ceremonies and whatnot's up here. So.
And you would think they would want you in the parade.
Oh,
that next
driving the bus.
There was probably
driving the.
Red.
What kind of bus did they used to drive when people? The yellow bus or the blue bus? That was me driving the blue bus. But anyway, so.
But I would think, people were probably last year when they were, coming down into Lambeau Field and seeing the players come by and everybody's going, wow, where's Green?
I think this time around, I think there should be coats and jackets available for the players.
You think that would probably
I
be
think they probably maybe learn a little bit from last year. They were freezing and stuff, so hopefully they will be coats already for all 53 players and coaching staff and such.
Yep.
So it was a great. We got one game left. The season's over with, except for one game.
Yep.
We are the champs, going to repeat. Now that repeat, like you said before, Mark, is awful tough.
Yep.
But we are capable, we are healthy, we are talented, great coaching staff on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
We have Brett Favre, and there's really no reason why the Green Bay Packers cannot come out of San Diego in 2 weeks and win this ball game and be champs again.
They truly should. I mean, logic. Well, I mean, you look at the spread. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. They're making a few dollars on it every week. And again, any team can beat any team on a Sunday. But looking at it on paper, there really is no reason that Green Bay should not win the football game.
Okay,
but I didn't say that because I don't want to jinx them.
Oh no, our leadership and talent will play this game. We got a lot of it in abundance on both sides of the ball and great coaching staff and stuff, like I said.
And we don't want Green to commit suicide, so they got to win.
No, but so go ahead. I'm not going to pick a score because I'll be here next week doing it. So what do you think the score is going to be, Mark?
Okay, Super Bowl, it's always
a blowout, usually.
It's always a high-scoring affair. So I'm going to pick the Packers. And when we do the radio show.
How bold can he be about picking the Packers?
When we did the radio show, I would always, give you a little grief about that. But I will pick the Packers, and the Packers will win. I don't think it's going to be quite as high-scoring as everybody thinks. I think it is going to be a 28-17 football.
That sounds like a pretty good score.
Yep.
That sounds like I'm not going to pick anything. You must say. I guess we got a couple of minutes. You must say hi to some of the crew and your family or your friends out there at US 96 or Murphy or.
Well, I think you probably just said hi to them already.
Say hi to some of your other, the wife and such.
Oh, of course, my wife Cindy, who's always glued to the Green Show every week.
Thank you, Cindy.
She watches it religiously, and of course, all the fun folks at Evil Roy Slades. We were just talking about them. Murph Stowe should have been here tonight. And US 96.
You got Chris Drexler
Make sure
down.
you listen to us.
Chris Drexler hangs
Oh,
out down
yeah,
there.
yeah,
and
and
Garth
oh,
Brooks. No, I mean not Garth Brooks, but the other Garth.
He looks a lot like Garth.
The
Brooks.
second,
Actually, he looks like
the
Adolf
second
Hitler,
most
but-
famous Garth that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, anybody else out there?
Ah, boy, I think
How
that's
about,
everybody I know.
How about any other? Don't some other people from US 96 live in Oshkosh to get the chance to see it? Who else maybe be able to have a chance?
I think no, most of our. Well, see, but yeah, this is also on the Nina, right?
No, it doesn't get Nina.
it doesn't get-
Yeah,
We're working on that.
And unfortunately, this doesn't get the Nina. But I want to make. I've been wanting to say hi to some women folk friends of mine. There's Patsy and Phyllis, Ruth, Marion, Minnie, and Bounce's daughter Cindy, the second, third, or fourth biggest Packer fan in the state. And because a lot of these wives watch the show, I'm glad they do and stuff. So, and Royal, of course, and my wife Julie and Chris and Tom, and my mother-in-law and everything else, and Dan. You want to say hi to anybody, Dan? Speak up so they can hear you.
Yeah, can't think of anybody.
Dan's an orphan, so he
Dan Nitschke behind the camera there.
is that's Ray's boy, right?
Ray's boy, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, say hi to my Uncle Ray.
Hi to Uncle Ray. Okay, so what else? Anything else? Want
Boy.
to end the show up with anything, or?
Well, I think it would be good to have a Packer victory for the Super Bowl.
Yes, okay.
I think that would be a wonderful thing.
And you don't know if you're going. You might be going. You don't know yet.
No, if we go, it's going. My brother just called me today. He said, "Let's go to San Diego." I said, "I don't want to have." I said, "I can't afford to buy a ticket for the game." He says, "Who needs a ticket?" He said, "Let's just go to San Diego
And do a little
So
partying thing.
you know, I'm pretty much a teetotaler for the most part, but you know, for a Super Bowl Sunday, I may tip back one or two.
One or two.
So, we're thinking about it.
So I don't know what I'm doing yet. We'll have to
Hit
figure out
Vegas
what's
for a couple of days and then bug over to San Diego.
Vegas, and hey, if you make enough money, you can buy a ticket.
We'll see. Yeah. See, we'll start off in Vegas, bet the Packers,
buck,
then go
buck.
watch a game, come back, collect your money, and come home.
There you go.
How can you pay for the trip?
We got how many minutes, Mr. Nitschke? We got a couple minutes yet.
He keeps
2
going
minutes.
too. He's been going 2
Please.
minutes for 10 minutes now. So
Okay.
just keep
But
going.
anyway, so all aside, the best two teams, I guess, are playing.
I
And
truly,
the way it folds out, Mark, the best two teams are playing. The AFC is very.
well, the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals have probably a shot. I mean, they're probably really the
But anyway, so the two best teams are probably playing now. I don't know when the AFC is going to stop this losing streak that the NFC has on them.
Not this year.
Not this year, because the reason not. You know, we got the great winning streak on this show. A lot of talk about the winning streak at Lambeau. It's not. Well, we might get a bounce here or two. We might get a call here or two, Mark. But basically, 99 and 9/10% of the time, the reason why we win in Lambeau, the streak is going because we are a great football team.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the reason why we're winning. We're not chump change. We are the best, and that's why we're winning because we are the best.
You really think that?
That trophy says it right there. And all
No,
these-
I was
and all
looking
these-
at
and all these other things up
That
there.
is nice. I mean, that's
Don't touch. It's valuable.
I was
There's an
going to
alarm
say-
going to go off.
I was going to say they probably. I mean, I think that's nicer than the one in sitting in the Packer office.
Thank you very much. I put about 5 minutes worth of work in there.